Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is Jeremy in Virginia, hanging out in the old dungeon. Glad you could stop on by. Today we're going to take a look at some tools, more so than sculptures. But being everything has been sculpted, it's unavoidable, so we'll just roll with it and see how it goes. What you're looking at here is something that you already know, because you can see that pretty easy. It's a stone axe head. This one's been grooved. It's made out of rhyolite, which is a greenish material found in abundance to my west in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And potentially it's 8,000 years old. Take a peek at it here, spin it around so you can see it. Pretty nice piece. And yes, it has been sculpted. You've got the eye sockets, then you have the eyeball with the pupils. All the eyes always have pupils. You got the nose down here, and then the mouth. And if you look, you're going to see jagged little teeth. What represents the teeth? All these little jagged things. Up here, at the top, is one of the oldest symbols known to man. It is the owl motif. It has one eye open and one eye closed. The closed eye is always very obvious and often looks like an eyelid. The owl's body will be made up of the gods. They are more so fossil-looking creatures than anything, a lot of times. This one here on the outer end might be the great rabbit, because here's the ears going up, and there'll be another one over here. Let's find him. Right here he is. And they always face one another. Then there's going to be two shorter ones on the inside who face each other. And often there's a skinny one that goes up in the middle. And here he is. I think he's right here. And if the image has been painted, excuse me, if the image has been painted, the one in the center will be black in color. In the background hiding will be the god of the underworld. He will be within the motif. That, again, is the god of the underworld, Oki. Oki. And I keep calling him Ogi. I apologize for that. It's not Ogi, it's Oki. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm from just east of Pittsburgh, so I might not say things the way some say it. So if I am wrong with the pronunciation, feel free to correct me. I know us people from the north have a tendency to, I'm not real sure, exaggerate our vowels maybe. I guess maybe the best way. But the whole piece has been worked. Trying to get that light just right here so you can see some of the other stuff that's on it. I think there's lips and a mouth here. There's an eye. Here's another eye. And horns. I wonder about the age of that, because I just seen something about the oldest carving of a horned being found. And I wonder if I could maybe challenge that. It's been cool. I'll tell you, the stuff that's been found at this site is, there's been some new information here. For instance, the archaeologists know of 5 gods. And in the owl motif, which represents the gods, there's no doubt about that, because the great hare is there, the god of the underworld's there, because of the description that are given of these beings. The sun god's even there. I know that's what that is. And there's more than 5. So that's pretty cool. Here's another artifact I wanted to show you. This is a Savannah point. This was found at another site. This is Middle Archaic, so say 3000 BC. It's made out of quartz. It too has been sculpted, but with the white color, it's going to be difficult for you to see. I'm going to see if we can see this, if you all can see this. This is a decorated nutshell. I think you can see the figures that are on it, if we get the lighting just right. Now, there was, from what I understand, several hundred walnut shells and hickory shells were found in Jamestown. Here they are. Yeah, here it is right here. Here's some of the gods again. So these can survive. And according to one of the archaeologists here in the state of Virginia, nutshells can survive for eons, along with leaves. Even leaves here in Virginia can survive eons in the ground. I did not know that. Seeds as well, which I guess a nut kind of is a seed. But you can see the face. You can see the other face up here. It's that same motif. Here's another god, and here's one here. Now some of these, there's entire little scenes going on, and yeah, you can see all the little creatures and stuff that's on here. Yeah, here's some. You can actually see some red paint that's still surviving right here, and it being here. But often there's some really good pictures of the natives on here. You can see again. You can see the face here. The two faces are looking at each other. Here's a creature here, and here's a person right here. You can see that's a Native American you're looking at right there. That's how they perceive themselves. Here's another one right here. Here's another one over here. Here's one up here. This is some of my favorite, or these nutshells. It is just amazing. And let me see. I seen another one. Yeah, or did we turn it around? Let me see. Okay, here's that red. I don't know if that's been spun all the way and I'm just seeing it again. Or here's Oki. He's always going to be the demonic looking, kind of evil looking fella. And here's, like down here. Unfortunately, if I do it this way, I don't know if you'll be able to see it as good as when I have it on the side a little bit. You're going to see a lot of figures that are carrying heads on post. I'd like to see. Yeah, here's a real good looking human kind of face right here, and a bigger one here. See how they all kind of use one another? This guy's mouth right here is actually the ear for this fella here. I'm not sure if you all can see that. And I think it's being used again for something else. Oh yeah, it's another figure right here. It's a head too. He's holding a head. He's putting the head into Oki's mouth. Okay, yeah, I think you can see that. Here's the figure. He's holding out a head. The head goes right here, and then you got Oki right here, and he's got his mouth open. And let's see here. They all feeding heads to Oki. Oh yeah, they're all feeding heads to Oki. Here's another. Whoop. Don't it figure. There we go. Here's this figure here. This is a Native American. It's two faces in one. You got one long face. There's the eye and there's the mouth. But then it's a little face as well. Let me see if you can see that. If we block it off, you're going to see there's a face up above, and then it's one big face too. He is holding. Let's see here. Here's his arm coming up right here, and let's find it. I seen it a second ago. Oh, there's another head, but there's the monster again with his mouth open. It's just the way this art runs, it can be really hard to see because it'll change on you in a heartbeat. And yet everything is there. And then you turn it to the side, and it's another sculpture. Let's see here, and I'll prove that to you in a second. Watch, this will be the only one that ever existed that won't be like that. Because that's how my luck is. Let me see here. And that looks like it might be the way the luck's running today. But there's a face here. Let's see. And I think, oh yeah, look. Yeah, this one's upside down, so we're finally seeing some things that are different. One side, I've noticed, if looking at it one way, everything's calmer. When you turn it upside down, it's like all hell broke loose. That's the best way I can put it. But yeah, they're all feeding heads to one another or something. There's a lot of things I'm starting to learn about the Native American culture that I was never aware of. Just spin it around, you'll see what I'm talking about here. All the different stuff. This one's a pretty good one right here. And this right here, you'll see kind of a ring. around. Look, that's probably the ring of snakes. That's most likely, at least from this angle, it might be. Oh, it's going to be on here, like even right in here. It might be the ring of snakes. That's another ancient symbol. Very, very ancient symbol. I don't know what it means. I've been trying to find some information. Sometimes you get to looking on here and you'll see natives in canoes and everything else. And I'm kind of looking now to see if there's, aha, wait a minute. And I've not looked at this well before, so if that's what we just found here, it might be right here's the canoe. And usually one end of the canoe has a face on it. And then you'll see, if you look in here, there's little figures. I'm trying to get it so you guys can see. If you gotta really kind of strain, but if I can see it with the way my eyes are, I know daggone well you guys should be able to see this. But it takes time, though. It does. You gotta kind of sharpen your eye to see it. And this is not anything that I just said, oh, look at that. I had to study this stuff before it started to make sense. Like I said, it was a jumbled mess when I first started looking at this stuff. But I knew something was there. I knew there was something there. All right, one more thing real quick. This one here, this was the Savannah Point. Okay, it's like I said, it's not an arrowhead. It's too heavy and could not be attached to the shaft. It just wouldn't work. Just the balance would be off. This is an arrowhead. And it's sculpted, but I'm not sure because of the color if we're going to be able to see it that well. You got the figure here who's looking up. Let me see here if we can't get it right. I'm having a hard time. Okay, he's looking up. I think you can see he's right here. You got an eye and an eye in his mouth. And he's probably holding a head, because I see that a lot. It's again and again and again and again. Up at the top up here, this is probably the sun god. Sometimes when they're looking up, though, they'll be holding a vessel in their hands, and they'll be catching the rays of the sun in that vessel, and which is just mind-blowing. You can even see on here the triangular. So somebody on here is holding a spear too. But it's going back to the sun god. That is not something you think of when you think Native American, North American Indian. It's more of a Mayan, Aztec, Inca type thing. But no, they worship the sun here as well. I mean, but the idea of just catching the rays of the sun, especially with all the gold in South America, that's something I guess we think more about happening there than here. Along with human sacrifice, that occurred here as well, and it was more prevalent than what people realize. We might have a video on that one day, but I will warn you, it's kind of disturbing. But anyway, guys, looking at almost a 14-minute video here. You've listened to me run my mouth long enough and probably learned nothing. But that's what I do. I run my mouth. All right, guys, I hope you guys did get something out of it for real. That's the whole point. I want you to learn a little bit. History's fantastic. It's a beautiful thing. And you guys could be out there finding this stuff. If my email address and stuff is not on there yet, I'm going to go ahead and upload that so you can contact me. If you want to learn how to find this stuff, hit me up and I'll throw you some pointers, okay? It's not that hard to do, because it's treasure laying right at your feet. I don't care where you live. You're on Native American ground. All right, folks, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.